Have you ever paused to consider the silent conversation your body is having with your future? In a culture often fixated on the anxieties of aging, we are taught to look for signs of decline, to brace for a gradual slowing down, a gentle fading into the background. Most people might assume that reaching the age of 70, 80, or beyond means that life's most vibrant chapters are already written. But what if I told you that the opposite could be profoundly true? What if the simple everyday actions you perform, the thoughts you entertain, and the feelings you navigate are not omens of limitation, but powerful prophetic signals of a long, robust, and joyful life stretching far beyond the century mark? There are quiet yet formidable signs within your body and mind that predict not only how long you will live, but more importantly, how well you will live. If you are a person who has already celebrated 7 or 8 decades of life, and you find yourself still engaging in certain fundamental activities, science, medical experts, and the lived experiences of the world's oldest and healthiest people all suggest you are aging with a rare and remarkable degree of strength and resilience. This is not an article about chasing mythical fountains of youth, investing in unproven miracle pills, or adhering to extreme, joyless diets. Instead, this is a deep exploration of the real, observable, and scientifically backed indicators you can see in your own life today that quietly but firmly point toward your potential to become one of those vibrant, independent, and inspiring individuals who thrive well past the age of 100. So, if you've ever wondered whether your daily habits and innate abilities are the secret ingredients to exceptional longevity, if you're curious whether you possess the foundational qualities to join the esteemed club of America's longest living citizens, then I invite you to stay with us. What you are about to discover may not only surprise you, but could also grant you a profound new perspective on your own strength and a powerful dose of confidence about the rich, fulfilling future that awaits. This journey is about recognizing the incredible story of vitality your body is already telling and learning how to listen. Let us begin with the very foundation of our physical autonomy, the pillars upon which our independence rests, our legs. If you find that you can still rise from a comfortable armchair without needing to press down with your hands for support, your likelihood of living a long and independent life has just increased exponentially. This seemingly simple action, the ability to get up from a seated position using only the power of your legs, is far from a mere party trick or a minor feat of agility. It stands as one of the most potent and reliable predictors of overall survival and quality of life in older adults. The reasons for this are as deep as they are interconnected, revealing a holistic picture of your body's systemic health. When you stand up without assistance, you are demonstrating a symphony of well-preserved biological systems. It signals, first and foremost, the presence of strong leg muscles, a bulwark against the creeping onset of age-related muscle loss known as sarcopenia. But it goes further, indicating a healthy and responsive sense of balance, stable and well-maintained joints, and an intact, efficient system of neurological coordination. These are the very systems that form our primary defense against falls, which are a leading cause of injury and loss of independence among seniors. They are the systems that ensure our blood circulates effectively, pushing oxygen-rich blood from our lower extremities back up to the heart and brain. In essence, they are the systems that keep us moving through the world on our own terms, with dignity and freedom. In circles dedicated to geriatric health and wellness, leg strength is often reverently referred to as the engine of independence. And this moniker is earned for a multitude of reasons. Your legs house the largest muscle groups in your entire body. When these muscles are strong and active, they act as a metabolic powerhouse, conferring benefits that ripple throughout your entire physiology. You experience better insulin sensitivity, which dramatically lowers your risk for type 2 diabetes.
The mechanical stress of bearing your own weight strengthens your bones, warding off the brittleness of osteoporosis. Perhaps most surprisingly, your cognitive function receives a significant boost. Every time you walk, stand, or even bend, you are enhancing blood flow to the brain, which in turn nourishes brain cells and supports sharper thinking. A landmark study conducted by researchers in Brazil and later validated by experts in the United Kingdom provided compelling evidence for this connection. They developed a simple sitting-rising test where older adults were asked to sit down on the floor and then stand back up, using as little support as possible. The results were staggering. Those individuals who could perform this movement with minimal or no use of their hands or knees for support had a significantly lower mortality rate over the study period. Think about the profound implication of that finding. A single fundamental movement, accomplished without assistance, can unveil a rich narrative about your physiological resilience and your future longevity. However, there is another, more subtle layer to this phenomenon. The ability to rise from a chair with ease, without a telltale push or an involuntary groan, reflects something deeper than just current muscle mass. It is a testament to a lifetime of consistent movement. It signifies that you have not allowed stiffness to claim your mornings as its own. You have not surrendered to the siren call of the sedentary couch or allowed the subtle creep of weakness to go unnoticed and unchallenged. It means you have consciously or unconsciously maintained the habits of walking, bending, standing, and perhaps even squatting to pick up a dropped object from the floor. This unwavering consistency has acted as a protective shield for your muscles, your posture, your circulatory system, and even your digestive health. It is the quiet discipline of daily motion that has preserved your body's most essential functions. Beyond the purely physical, we must consider the powerful psychological dimension at play. Being able to stand up from a chair effortlessly sends a potent message to your brain. I am still capable. I am strong. I am in control. This mindset, this deeply held belief in your own ability, creates a virtuous feedback loop that directly nourishes your physical health. When you believe you can do things, you are infinitely more likely to try them. You will be more inclined to take that walk in the park, to visit a friend, to engage in a hobby, or to remain curious and active in your community. Strength begets confidence, and confidence begets further activity, which in turn builds more strength. It is a beautiful, self-perpetuating cycle of vitality, one that many people unfortunately begin to lose in their 70s, but one that is by no means destined to be lost. I once knew a man named George, a sharp-witted 82-year-old from a small town in Vermont, who was living alone after his beloved wife passed away. Every single morning, without fail, he would perform a set of deep knee bends right beside his bed. He told me it wasn't for exercise in the traditional sense. It was his personal proof of life, a daily ritual to affirm his own self-reliance. He said, with a quiet determination in his eyes, "As long as I can get myself up off the floor, I know I'll be fine on my own." This kind of understated resolve, when paired with the tangible physical ability, is one of the most unambiguous signs that a person possesses the raw materials for a long, full, and independent life.
So, if you are over the age of 70 and you can still stand up from your favorite chair without using your arms as leverage, I urge you to recognize this ability for what it truly is. It is not just a minor physical detail. It is a powerful testament to everything you have preserved through decades of living. It signifies that your strength, your balance, your coordination, and your discipline are not just surviving, they are thriving. And these are precisely the qualities that researchers consistently find in the world's most resilient and long-lived centenarians. That was the first secret, a crucial foundation for a vibrant later life. If you find this insight about the profound importance of leg strength useful and it resonates with your own experience,
Please take a moment to comment with the number 1 below to let us know. From the physical foundation of our bodies, we now turn our attention inward to the intricate and mysterious command center that governs our experience of the world, the mind. If you can still recall the name of a new acquaintance you met last week, remember the date of a cherished anniversary without checking a calendar, or instinctively know where you placed your reading glasses, you are holding on to something far more precious than mere trivia. You are holding on to your neurological vitality. The vast majority of people fail to appreciate that memory is not simply a filing cabinet for facts and figures. It is, in fact, a powerful and sensitive indicator of overall brain health, cognitive resilience, and even your emotional well-being. And if you have navigated into your 70s or 80s with your mental acuity still sharp and clear, that is an exceptionally strong sign that you are on the path toward reaching the century mark in both mind and body. Let's dissect this concept more deeply. Memory recall is not a single isolated ability. It is the elegant and seamless culmination of a vast network of sophisticated systems within your brain, all working in harmonious concert. It involves the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure deep in the temporal lobe that is absolutely essential for forming and consolidating new memories. It relies on the prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive suite, which helps with decision-making, working memory, and retrieving stored information. It even engages your sensory systems, which are responsible for processing and initially encoding the sights, sounds, and feelings that become the raw material of memory. If your recall remains largely intact, it is a clear indication that the blood flow to your brain is healthy and robust, your neural pathways are firing efficiently, and your core cognitive functions are holding strong against the tide of age-related changes. This is no small feat. It is a sign of exceptional brain maintenance. Here is an aspect that many people overlook. Memory is deeply and inextricably tied to our emotional health and social connectivity. The ability to remember a friend's name, to recall the details of a story they shared with you, or to ask about a recent event in their life, makes you feel connected and engaged. This is the very currency of social interaction. This engagement is one of the most powerful protective factors for longevity. Isolation, on the other hand, is a corrosive force, strongly and consistently linked to accelerated cognitive decline and poorer health outcomes. Therefore, by actively keeping your memory strong, you are not just protecting a cognitive function, you are reinforcing the vital social bonds that give life meaning and purpose. You are nurturing your relationships and solidifying your sense of belonging, which is absolutely vital for a long and, more importantly, a fulfilling life.
Furthermore, there is a crucial message that most seniors do not hear often enough. Your brain, much like a muscle, benefits from regular exercise. Even small, seemingly insignificant acts of mental engagement contribute to building what neuroscientists call cognitive reserve. This reserve is like a mental savings account, a buffer of neural connections that helps your brain withstand the challenges of aging. You do not need to be solving complex calculus problems at your kitchen table to build it. Simple, enjoyable activities like playing word games, telling stories to your grandchildren, reading the daily newspaper, or even the simple act of organizing old photo albums all serve as valuable exercises for your brain. They challenge you to recall, to organize, to make connections, and to process information. Every moment you spend actively recalling a fact, every new connection you forge in a conversation, you are strengthening the very scaffolding of your mind. Let's consider the story of Elaine, a vibrant 79-year-old woman living in a retirement community in Florida. Every Thursday night, she hosts a lively trivia night in the community's common room. She does it not out of a competitive desire to win, but because she genuinely loves the mental challenge and the camaraderie it fosters.
You can see her eyes light up with a special kind of fire when she pulls a correct answer from the depths of her memory, especially if it's a piece of trivia from the 1950s or 60s. She often says, "It makes me feel like I'm still part of the world, that my brain hasn't retired yet." What Elaine may not fully realize is that this consistent habit of staying mentally engaged, of stretching her brain just a little bit each week, has created a rhythm of vitality that has kept her emotionally buoyant and physically healthier. Her doctor recently remarked that, according to her biological markers, she is aging at a slower pace than most women her age. That is the power of a stimulated mind. So, if your own mind still feels clear, if you find joy in remembering the details of the past, or in engaging in a thoughtful, nuanced conversation, do not take that clarity for granted. It is a precious gift you have cultivated over a lifetime. That mental sharpness is a clear sign that your brain is aging exceptionally well. And as a general rule, when the mind stays sharp, the body often follows suit. This is because mental clarity leads to confidence, and confidence is the fuel that keeps you engaged with the grand, unfolding adventure of life. And that engagement, perhaps more than any other single factor, is what the world's centenarians have in common. Are you finding these insights into the connection between memory and longevity valuable? If the importance of maintaining cognitive resilience strikes a chord with you, please show your support by commenting with the number 2 below. We love knowing that this information is reaching and helping you. And if you haven't already, this is a perfect time to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on future content designed to inform and inspire. Your support is what allows us to continue creating and sharing this work. Now let us move from the internal world of the mind to a physical indicator that is both surprisingly simple and profoundly revealing: the strength of your grip. The ability to confidently open a tightly sealed jar of pickles, to carry a full bag of groceries from the car to the kitchen in one trip, or to firmly twist a stubborn doorknob without a moment's hesitation might seem like minor everyday conveniences. However, if you are over the age of 70 and you still possess a strong and steady grip, you are exhibiting one of the most reliable and scientifically validated indicators of a long and healthy life. It is far more than a measure of hand muscle. It is a clear, quantifiable signal of your overall vitality, your metabolic health, and your continued independence. In recent years, physicians and clinical researchers have increasingly come to regard grip strength as a powerful vital sign, a predictor not only of physical function, but of how well your entire body is aging on a deep cellular level. It's often measured in clinical settings with a device called a dynamometer, and the results are consistently correlated with overall health outcomes. Think about the mechanics of it for a moment. Your grip is not an isolated function. It is the endpoint of a kinetic chain that connects your hand to your forearm, your arm to your shoulder, and your shoulder to your upper back and core. It requires healthy nerves, strong tendons, and coordinated muscle firing. If you can still hold a full cup of coffee steadily, carry a heavy pot of stew to the table, or lift your grandchild into the air without your hands trembling or giving out, it means that this entire intricate system of muscles, nerves, and coordination is still working together in smooth, harmonious synchrony. This is no coincidence. A wealth of scientific studies have demonstrated a strong correlation between grip strength and longevity. Seniors with a stronger grip tend to have better cardiovascular health, lower levels of systemic inflammation, a reduced risk of developing chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes, and even a significantly lower risk of debilitating falls. The connection is so robust that some researchers have called grip strength a more accurate predictor of future health than blood pressure. But the significance of a firm grip extends far beyond the physical body and into the realm of our interaction with the world. Metaphorically and literally, grip strength represents your control, your autonomy, and your confidence. A strong grip means you are not afraid to reach out and engage with your environment. It signifies that you are still actively taking care of yourself, still capable of doing things for others, and still holding on to life with firmness and intention rather than letting it passively slip through your fingers. This mental state of staying engaged, active, and involved is one of the most underappreciated characteristics of those who live well past 100. It's the difference between being a protagonist in your own life story and becoming a passive spectator. Now, here is what makes this indicator particularly interesting and important to recognize. Grip strength often begins to fade insidiously, long before we consciously notice it as a problem. A person might start using both hands to open a can that once required only one. They might begin to subtly ask their spouse or a younger family member to twist the lid on a new bottle of water. These changes are subtle, and they come on so gradually that we often dismiss them, assuming it's just a normal, unavoidable part of aging. But that is precisely why noticing that you still have that strength is so profoundly meaningful. It means your body is aging differently on a more favorable trajectory. It is staying functional for longer than the average person, and it is doing so in a way that directly supports every other aspect of your life, from your physical movement to your mood and even your memory. I think of a man I met named Frank, a retired carpenter of 81 who has been passionately tending his vegetable garden in rural Pennsylvania for the past 40 years. Even now, he insists on using his old, heavy, all-metal pruning shears that require a significant amount of hand power to operate. He once told me, with a twinkle in his eye, that using those shears was his daily way of proving to myself that I've still got it. His grip might not be the steel trap it was when he was 30, but it remains remarkably steady and powerful. That steadiness has visibly translated to other areas of his life. He walks with a more confident, upright posture. He stands taller. And his doctor recently shared with him that his resting heart rate and blood oxygen levels look more like those of a man 20 years his junior. That is the cascading benefit of maintaining this fundamental strength. If you are a person whose hands still serve you well, who can still grasp, hold, and carry with confidence, I implore you not to take this ability lightly. It is a clear and direct message from your body that your muscles are still well nourished, your nerves are still well connected, and your brain is still commanding your body with authority and precision. You are not just surviving, you are fully functioning. And it is that functionality that allows you to live on your own terms, to pursue your hobbies, to help others, and to savor the precious freedom that many people your age might already feel is slipping away. A firm grip, in the end, is a firm hold on life itself. Have you noticed this connection in your own life or in the life of someone you know? Do you have a hobby or a daily task that keeps your hands strong? We would love to hear your story in the comments section below. And if this insight strikes you as powerful, please let us know by commenting with the number 3. Having explored the physical pillars of leg strength and grip strength and the cognitive resilience of memory, we now arrive at a fourth, profoundly human element that serves as a powerful engine for a long and meaningful life, a strong sense of purpose. This may sound less tangible than muscle mass or memory recall, but a wealth of scientific and sociological research suggests that it is one of the most critical ingredients in the recipe for exceptional longevity. It's the answer to the fundamental question, what gets you out of bed in the morning? If in your 70s, 80s, or beyond, you have a clear and compelling answer to that question, a reason for being that extends beyond mere routine or survival, you possess a psychological North Star that guides you toward a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling existence. A life driven by purpose stands in stark contrast to one of aimless habit. It's the difference between waking up to a day filled with potential contribution and connection versus a day that simply needs to be gotten through. This sense of purpose doesn't need to be a grandiose, world-changing ambition. In fact, it rarely is. More often, it is found in the deeply personal and meaningful roles we inhabit: caring for a loved one, mentoring a younger person, volunteering for a cause we believe in, creating art or music, nurturing a garden, or simply being the dependable hub of a loving family. It is the feeling that your existence matters to someone or something beyond yourself. Consider the story of Eleanor, an 80-year-old retired librarian from Chicago. After her husband passed and her children were grown and scattered across the country, she felt a profound sense of emptiness. Her days lacked structure and, more importantly, meaning. On a whim, she started volunteering at a local no-kill animal shelter. Initially, she just cleaned cages and folded laundry. But soon, she became the shelter's cat whisperer, known for her uncanny ability to socialize and calm the most frightened and withdrawn felines, making them more adoptable. Now, 3 days a week, Eleanor has a reason to wake up with a sense of urgency and joy. Her purpose is to provide comfort and care to these vulnerable creatures. This purpose gives her a reason to stay physically active, walking to and from the shelter. It keeps her socially engaged with other volunteers and potential adopters. It provides a constant stream of new challenges and heartwarming rewards. Eleanor's purpose is her anchor, her motivation, and, according to longevity research, her secret weapon for a longer life.
The concept of having a reason for being is so powerful that it has a name in Japanese culture, particularly in Okinawa, one of the world's blue zones, where people live exceptionally long and healthy lives. They call it ikigai. Your ikigai is the intersection of what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be valued for. It is your reason to live. Numerous scientific studies have now backed up this traditional wisdom. Research published in journals like The Lancet and the Journal of the American Medical Association has shown that older adults who report a strong sense of purpose in life have significantly lower all-cause mortality rates. They have a lower risk of heart attack and stroke, better cognitive function over time, and a greater overall sense of psychological well-being. How can a feeling, a sense of purpose, have such a profound physical impact? The mechanism is twofold. First, purpose acts as a powerful buffer against the ravages of stress. When you are faced with life's inevitable challenges, a health setback, the loss of a friend, a financial worry, having a strong sense of purpose provides a context. It helps you see beyond the immediate crisis and reminds you that your life still has meaning and value. This perspective can mitigate the production of chronic stress hormones like cortisol, which are known to accelerate aging by promoting inflammation and damaging cells. Second, purpose is a powerful motivator for healthy behaviors. If you know that your grandchildren, your community garden, or the animals at the shelter depend on you, you are far more likely to take care of yourself. You'll be more inclined to eat well, to stay active, and to get enough rest, not just for your own sake, but for the sake of your purpose. It is crucial to differentiate purpose from ambition. Ambition is often about achieving a specific goal, a promotion, a financial target, a public recognition. Purpose is about the process, about the contribution itself. It is less about what I can get and more about what I can give. For many people, the retirement years offer a unique and beautiful opportunity to shift from a life of ambition to a life of purpose. It is a time to shed the obligations that no longer serve you and to lean into the passions and connections that truly nourish your soul. So, how does one find or cultivate this sense of purpose later in life, especially if it feels like it has faded? It is a journey of introspection and exploration.
It might begin by asking simple questions. What did I love to do before my career and family obligations took over? What skills do I have that could benefit others? What injustice in the world makes me angry? What simple activity brings me a sense of peace and joy? The answers can point the way. It could lead to volunteering at a school or hospital, joining a choir or a book club, taking up an old passion like painting or woodworking, writing a memoir to preserve your life story for your family, or dedicating yourself to being the best grandparent, friend, or neighbor you can possibly be. The key is to find something that makes you feel connected and contributory. It is about creating a life that is not just long in years, but rich in meaning. What gives your life a sense of purpose? Whether it's your family, a passion project, your faith, or your community, we invite you to share your personal North Star in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else to find theirs. If this exploration of purpose resonates with you, please let us know by commenting with the number 4 below.
We have now journeyed through the physical foundations of strength, the cognitive clarity of a sharp mind, and the motivational drive of purpose. Our final, and perhaps most profoundly impactful sign of exceptional longevity lies in the realm of our inner world, emotional balance. If, in your 7th decade and beyond, you find yourself able to navigate the inevitable challenges and sorrows of life without falling into a persistent state of anxiety, bitterness, or emotional chaos, you are demonstrating a form of resilience that protects your physical and mental health in truly remarkable ways. Staying emotionally steady is not some passive, happy-go-lucky personality trait. It is an active, learned skill, and one of the most powerful predictors of a long and well-lived life. Let's be clear about what emotional balance truly means. It is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending that everything is fine when it isn't. A long life is guaranteed to include moments of profound sadness, deep frustration, and legitimate fear. Emotional balance is not the absence of these feelings. Rather, it is the cultivated ability to experience them fully, to process them, and to consistently return to a place of relative calm and perspective. It is the capacity to be the calm center of your own storm. This steadiness is a hallmark of deep emotional maturity, and a growing body of scientific evidence shows that it has a direct and measurable effect on your physical well-being. Chronic stress, which is often the result of unresolved or unregulated negative emotions, has been definitively linked to nearly every major disease of aging. It contributes to high blood pressure, heart disease, a weakened immune system, and even accelerated cognitive decline. When you are in a constant state of fight or flight, your body is flooded with hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which, over time, cause significant wear and tear on your entire system. They create systemic inflammation, which is now understood to be a root cause of many age-related illnesses. Conversely, individuals who can effectively regulate their emotions, who can acknowledge a feeling of anger without lashing out, or feel a wave of anxiety without letting it spiral into panic, often exhibit lower levels of inflammation, steadier heart rates, more stable blood pressure, and better quality of sleep. You might be surprised to learn that emotional regulation is considered by many health experts to be just as important for longevity as regular exercise or a healthy diet. This is because your brain and your body are in a constant, intimate conversation. If your brain is continuously sending signals of distress and alarm, your body will pay the price in the form of physical breakdown. But if you have developed the skill to recognize your feelings and consciously choose how to respond rather than reacting impulsively, you have effectively built a powerful internal buffer against the biological damage of daily stress. You are giving your body the precious gift of peace, allowing it the space and resources to repair and heal itself.
There is also a critical social dimension to this inner stability. Emotionally balanced people tend to cultivate and maintain healthier, more supportive relationships. They don't fly off the handle over small misunderstandings. They don't hold on to grudges or dwell in resentment, which are toxic emotional states. They are quicker to forgive, more able to communicate their needs clearly and calmly, and they tend to attract and retain friends who respect and support them. As we age, the quality of our social network becomes an increasingly vital component of our health. Having this kind of emotional safety net built on a foundation of mutual trust and respect is an incredibly valuable asset for navigating the later years of life.
Let's revisit the story of Frank, the 83-year-old retired teacher from a previous example. He lost his beloved wife of 55 years 5 years ago, and he openly admits that the first year of grief nearly broke him. He felt adrift, angry, and profoundly lonely. But instead of allowing himself to become permanently mired in bitterness or to retreat into isolation, he made a conscious choice. He leaned heavily on his community, joining a local men's storytelling group. He reconnected with his church. He even started mentoring young new teachers at the local high school, sharing his decades of wisdom. He still misses his wife every single day, and he is not afraid to shed a tear when he speaks of her. But, as he puts it, he has learned to carry the grief with grace rather than being crushed by it. That is emotional balance in action. It is not about denying the hard things in life, but about refusing to let them define the entirety of your existence. Many seniors discover, to their surprise, that their 70s and 80s become a season of profound letting go. This is not a sad or defeated letting go, but a deeply freeing one. It is the letting go of unrealistic expectations, of the need to control every outcome, of the heavy burden of old grudges and past slights. And in the space created by this release, they often find a surprising depth of peace, clarity, and simple joy. This mindset doesn't just make life more pleasant, it literally makes it longer. Study after study consistently shows that individuals who cultivate a positive outlook, who practice gratitude, and who effectively manage their emotional responses live significantly longer, healthier lives than those who are perpetually stuck in cycles of negativity and stress. So, if you are in your 70s, 80s, or beyond, and you have cultivated the ability to remain emotionally centered, able to feel your feelings without being tyrannically ruled by them, you are already standing on one of the most resilient pillars of longevity. You have built an inner foundation that is more powerful than most medications, more enduring than any temporary circumstance, and more valuable than any material wealth. And that, my friend, is a quiet strength worth honoring and celebrating every single day. Do you have any similar experiences with navigating difficult emotions and finding balance? Don't hesitate to share your story or a piece of wisdom you've learned in the comments section. We'd love to hear it and learn from you. If you believe in the power of emotional resilience for a long life, let us know by commenting with the number 5. As we draw our exploration to a close, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound and empowering narrative that has unfolded. If you are a person over the age of 70 who is still walking with a confident stride, whose mind remains sharp and engaged, whose hands can still firmly grasp the tools of daily life, who is guided by a clear sense of purpose, and who navigates the emotional currents of life with balance and grace, you are a living, breathing testament to a powerful truth. Aging does not have to mean decline. You are not merely surviving these precious later years, you are actively thriving in them.
And that reality says something incredibly profound about the strength, wisdom, and resilience you have cultivated over a lifetime. Too often, our society paints a bleak and diminishing picture of aging, portraying it as a slow, inexorable fade into irrelevance and frailty. But the truth, as evidenced by the lives of so many vibrant older adults and confirmed by a wealth of scientific research, is that these later years can be among the richest, most meaningful, and most joyful chapters of our entire lives. The real secret to exceptional longevity is not found in a frantic, backward-looking chase for lost youth. It is discovered in the quiet, daily mastery of the fundamental things that keep us grounded, healthy, and deeply connected to the world and to ourselves.
If you recognize yourself in the descriptions we have explored today, the strong legs, the clear mind, the firm grip, the guiding purpose, the steady heart, then the chances are high that you are doing more than just aging well. You are actively setting the stage to live well beyond 100, not just in the number of years you accumulate, but in the richness of your purpose, the dignity of your independence, and the depth of your joy. Do not take these strengths for granted. Celebrate them, nurture them, continue to protect and invest in them every day. Because the road to 100 and beyond is not a race to a finish line. It is a journey to be savored. It is about enjoying the walk, appreciating the ever-changing view, and knowing with a quiet confidence that you have earned every single precious step. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the art and science of a long and vibrant life. We would be honored to hear from you. After all this analysis, what is the most important lesson you've learned for yourself? Please leave a comment below and share one insight from today that you plan to apply or celebrate in your own life. Your thoughts, stories, and wisdom are immensely important to us and to this community, so please don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments provides us with great motivation and encouragement to continue our work. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.